Hi everyone, so we've gotten some questions about our seed tray storage kit, and some of you guys want to see the toolkit in action, so I figured I'd unbox and demo it here today for you. This is our titanium plate, which comes in a paper envelope, commercial grade titanium, 2 millimeter thick, obviously super durable, fire resistant, non-corrosive, crush proof, 24 spots for your seed words. So you can fit up to 24. If you have a 12-word plate, you can use one side or the other. Maybe even do some odd even trickery. Back of the plate is blank, and there are 4 corner utility holes that can be used to screw or mount the plate into a surface, under a desk, in a wall. You can put multiple plates together and use hardware to keep everything locked in. We're also going to be coming out with a cover plate system for you as well next year. Back of the plate is blank. We'll put that to the side and show you the kit. So here is part of the toolkit. Comes with detailed step-by-step instructions, stamping tips about what surfaces you should be stamping on, what hammers you should be using, do's and don'ts. Comes with the stamping jig, which is the flagship of the kit. This jig is meant to hold your plate as well as help you with spacing and aligning your letters, making sure everything's fitting in the cell nicely. So the plate slides into the jig, fits perfectly. You get your row lined up, and you utilize those lines to know where to place your letters. Has a metal base, so you can stamp, use this as your stamping block. It's going to be a nice hard surface to stamp into, and has the rubber bottom, which is going to help with, the block slipping, reduce noise a little bit as well. Next item would be the metal stamps. So these stamps you're almost using as if you would use a nail. The tip of each stamp has a letter or a number. We include your numbers. And you basically hammer that X that I have right there into the metal like you would hammer a nail. The sides of the stamps are all blank except for one. The side that's not blank is the side that should be facing you. This helps to make sure your letters are oriented properly. Say you're stamping with the letter W. If you have it turned the wrong way, what is it going to look like? An M. Not good. So you have your orientation there. The instructions tell you to have that facing you. And there's also a little line right there, and that line at the bottom corresponds with one of the lines on the jig that helps make sure, again, you're getting everything spaced into line properly. So slide the plate back into the jig. Now, again, as I mentioned, the jig has a metal base on the bottom, so you can stamp directly into it. But say you don't have a sturdy table to stamp onto, you don't have a good workbench, or you're not swinging the hammer super hard, you could purchase this additionally. It's part of our kit bundles. You could add this on. It's a steel bench block. Also has the rubber bottom to prevent slippage and reduce noise a little bit. Then you just double it up. Block on the bottom, jig on the top, seed plate in. Now you're ready to go. So, lastly, the hammer, which is one of our favorites. Really cool hammer. Designed exclusively for metal stamping into hard metals. Has a 2-pound weighted head, a brass tip, a short handle, and an angle. And all of this just helps you kind of stay at a smaller range of motion. You're not making this long, exaggerated swing with a long-handled hammer. You have a lot of your weight in the tip, well, the head of the hammer rather. That just gives you a nice top-heavy swing, ensuring that your stamp is pressing deeply into titanium. That's also why it has a brass tip. You can see some denting there, which is by design. When you're hitting a steel stamp, if you're hitting it with a steel hammer, it's just going to bounce off the top. When you're using brass, which is softer than the steel, it's going to actually drive the stamp in more to that plate, resulting in a deeper impression, making it not look like you engraved it or just scratched into the surface. We're actually stamping deeply into the plate. So there's the W, again, the line. We're going to line up with the line on the jig. And what you want to do is form a 90-degree angle as best as possible between those two lines. I don't know if you can see it there. So line to line, 90-degree angle. I like to do one solid hit with the hammer. You could do 2 hits without lifting the stamp up, but let's see what I could do with 1 hit in a short range of motion. So there's a W impressed into that plate, nice and deep. It's in there. There's no loose pieces. There's no little letter tiles that are going to fall out if the plate gets bent or heat, heat it up in a fire to a certain temperature. We've tested these plates with blow torches that exceed 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and there were no issues. And I just turned the plate sideways, so we actually have these side lines here. So you turn your plate 90 degrees, slide the plate through the jig, and use those lines to stamp on the information you might have, any wallet identification or any other things you want to put there, maybe your Nostr private key. Those lines are there for you to add extra information on. So hope this helps. If anyone has any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and happy hodling.